Okay, hello everybody. So I came to show my mask. This is for my daughter. I'm obviously going to wash it before I wear it, but I just wanted to show the design. And the person who designed this, she is called Craft Passion, and this is a free download. So what I did is I altered it here by putting a piece of metal, and I tried various metals, and I don't have corona. I have dust on all this fabric. So I put a piece of tin foil here, and that's how I altered it so it has this bend to keep it a little closer to your face. And it's for dust. It's not for corona. And I had a comment that said, unfortunately, the cotton masks don't protect you. And if I have no mask, or 2 or 3 or 4 layers of cotton over my mouth, it seems that something is going to be stopped. And the other thing is that these are sort of prototype ones that I've worked on, but you could also put different layers, as many layers as you can. And you need to be careful. Obviously, if you're making these for children, you don't want to give them anything that they couldn't breathe. It's better to just keep children at home. So I wanted to give a little update about my part of the world and what's happening. I live in rural North Carolina, and my family and I have been isolated at home for 2 weeks now. This is our second week. And we started to self quarantine way before there were any directives to quarantine. And I work for several language companies, and I'm fortunate enough to speak to people all over the world. And two of the companies I work for are actually from China. So I have been watching this since January, and I have heard updates weekly from my students. And the people in China stayed at home for 8 weeks. And staying at home in China is a lot different than staying at home in the United States, because in China, their apartments are very, very small. They don't have yards. They live on the 10th floor or the 15th floor, and they can't go out anywhere other than going to get groceries or for medical attention. And it's been really difficult for all of them, for the adults, for the children. The children started online classes through the government, and it's just been really rough. And having observed this through my students, I realized how serious it was. And I think maybe I had some insight more than most Americans, because I do have this connection. And I also have students in Korea. So when it was really bad in Korea, I heard their stories too. So while this is, relatively new to most Americans, this has been on my radar since January, when it first became public knowledge there. So these are very, very unusual times. And my family's plan is that next week we're going to go grocery shopping, because we haven't been to the store in 2 weeks. And my husband is planning to buy like 3 weeks worth of groceries. So hopefully, in this 6 week period, we will have only been out and exposing ourselves and exposing other people to us once in 6 weeks. So that's our plan. And I'm spending my time sewing. I have two huge cabinets full of fabric. And every time I'm like shoving it back in there, I'm like, one day I'm just going to be able to sit down and just sew, 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 sew. So guess what? That has been my last 2 weeks. So I've made lap quilts. I've made reusable grocery bags. Show you one of my. This reusable grocery bags. So it goes like this, and it's small. This way I can stick it into my very small purse. It goes with me everywhere. It has a little button, and then I open it up, and I can take it. And I have not used plastic bags in a year. So that's part of my contribution to helping the world is by avoiding plastic unnecessarily. So, what else can I say? Um, I guess that's it. I've been crafting. I haven't been watching a lot of what's going on. Generally, I'll spend maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes just sort of getting caught up on the news in my area to see how many people in my county have it. Of course, I've been watching the terrible and sad news from New York and California and Washington, and it's really really upsetting to see it, and the lack of response from our government is deeply deeply disturbing. But here we are. We'll see how it plays out. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.